Bryce, have you seen the new Star Wars movie?
No, I have not seen the new Star Wars movie. When I saw it at the beginning of 2016, I was really excited to watch it and everything, but I don't know, I guess I lost my interest for it. Kind of forgot about it.
Are you gonna watch it?
Yep, I probably will watch it now
Okay.
that I remember about it. Get back into the craze.
We're changing lives.
Yeah.
Reese, you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's good.
What would you rate it?
I would rate it a 7.8 out of 10.
0.8, okay. That's overwhelmingly generous. It is very clearly a high 6 sort of movie.
High 6, really? Oh. Yep. See,
Still enjoyable.
I feel like what you... Yeah, I know. I feel like you're one of those people who will, like, go and nitpick out, like, flaws and actually forget to, enjoy the movie in the process.
Sorry, I'm somebody who watches movies and notices flaws. Is that a bad thing?
Yeah.
If there's 5 minutes of, like, silence and a white screen in the middle, am I just supposed to ignore that?
Well, no. But there isn't, is there? I just feel like a lot of people actually, like, forget to, actually enjoy the movie. And when you look at the end of Rogue One and see, like, what the statement is that's being made, it kind of makes sense. I think, Brad, you'd have to agree with me there.
Yeah, I think I can understand what you're trying to say, Reese. Like, people are too focused on, like, parts in the movie.
Yeah.
Sort of like a checklist. It's got that, and just forgetting to just enjoy the movie for what it is. I understand. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really have an opinion. I haven't seen it.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's not a perfect movie. I removed 2.2 points out of 10 for a reason. Like, it was not a perfect movie. However, as I said, it's pretty fun. You can go and watch it. I got to watch it in, like, one of those fancy theaters with, like, the reclining chairs and ice cream, and I was
nice.
I was in heaven, mate.
There's a difference, right? There's a difference between enjoying a movie and just being a completely, like, mind-numbed robot that's not critically evaluating anything they're seeing. That's how you properly enjoy movies. Because then the truly great movies show their true greatness to you. Reese.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna, like, watch a movie that's fundamentally, like, flawed and go, like, that's a really good movie because I had fun. No. Obviously, I think
Rogue One.
you've got to draw a balance. Like, there's got to be half of the points or something like that dedicated to technicality, and half the points of, like, is it actually a watchable film? And, if you get what I mean.
Sorry, we're allocating points here to certain aspects of the movie.
I don't know.
I don't know about that one.
Anyway, do you guys see any other films this year that you thought were, like, really, really good that you want to talk about quick?
Well, this year I haven't done anything.
Really?
It's been 6 days.
Oh, I mean last year.
That's the one.
Oh, wow.
God damn it. You children are too up to date with everything.
What, the calendar? You're too up to date with what year it is.
Yes.
Do you think it's like 1995 or something?
1995. Well, what? Are we living in the future already? I'm back in the 20s, bud.
What other movies did we see? Harry Potter, which was very mediocre.
What was the other movie? The one with the aliens and stuff.
Arrival.
That one.
I saw that, and it was
That's a good movie. Yeah.
It was good.
I haven't seen that, but apparently it was good.
I'll tell you what, one film that you should check out if you haven't seen it, because not a lot of people saw this at all, is a film called Eye in the Sky. I don't know if you guys have heard of it.
No.
It is a really good movie, and basically nobody saw it, and it's got so many stars in the cast. Like, it's got Alan Rickman in his last performance. Come on. You know who Alan Rickman is, don't you?
Yes, we know
Good.
who Alan Rickman is.
Alan.
Damn it, Bryce. So let's talk about last episode in a segment we like to call Follow-Up. Reese, what's some follow-up from last episode?
Oh god, here we go. Okay, so last episode, we spent the whole goddamn entire time talking about Metz's world record, which was, like, broken about 3 days after we made the podcast by Felix, and unfortunately, our podcast was star-studded with just, like, pure examples of us just saying completely ironic things looking back, like, oh, it won't be Felix getting the new world record, and color neutrality is bad for singles and whatever. So now we're all just looking silly here.
When I was editing the episode, I was like, oh my god, this is hilarious. But yeah, he did end up getting the world record, and he proved wrong that that we said color neutral people probably can't get the world record, and he was just like, nah, screw you. And also, somebody raised the point that Colin Burns was actually color neutral, and he was obviously the world record holder for quite a while there. So that was, it's mistakes all the way down.
I just still think it's hilarious how he beat it by 0.01 seconds while sitting next to him, sitting next to Matt. You just look at Matt's face, and it's happy and happy for Felix, and then it just slowly turns into a neutral face, and then kind of sad.
What about you, Reese? Anything to say about Felix's record?
No, I thought it was alright. If star highlight of the solve, I'd reckon last layer. If you've seen the last layer, it's like it's fast. It's fast.
That's the thing about world records; they're often fast.
No, that's how it goes. But the last layer was pretty fast, just between you and me.
Moving on. Last episode, we also talked about overproduction in YouTube cubing videos, and we had a big old 10-minute rant about, people spending thousands of dollars on cameras to film a Rubik's Cube and stuff like that. And Spotty, who seems to be like the fourth host on our podcast now, she certainly speaks more than Bryce does.
Fair point.
Spotty raised some talking points about overproduction. She said, I personally really enjoy really high quality content, like the stuff Chris Olsen makes. As long as the video doesn't have too many pans, just shots everywhere, that don't add really anything to the video, then I enjoy having good visuals as well as nice audio. I don't think that equipment is everything at all, but I think that if you're a bigger YouTuber, it definitely doesn't hurt to invest in making your videos more pleasing to watch.
Okay, I just want to put something out there currently and just say, like, last episode it may have seemed like I was just absolutely trashing a lot of YouTubers that are out there. I went pretty full on at, like, people like Chris and JR Cuba, and people probably think that I, like, hate their videos. No, I really don't. I still watch their videos, a lot of them, and I'm just saying that, like, some, to be honest, are better than others, and it's just not the style of content I really full on enjoy to and watch anymore. I prefer other style of content, but I don't hate them. In fact, I like their videos. I think they're definitely good videos, so no hard feelings.
Yeah, I agree. Like, high production value isn't a bad thing. Like, it's just it's not necessary. Like, the first step that you need to take is like actually having a good personality and creativity in your videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, high production value isn't unpleasant. It's it's just not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's bad to look at a well shot photo for for 2 minutes. I mean, it's obviously quite appealing, and a lot of people are going to find it appealing. It's just not exactly what I'd watch anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what we were trying to say is, what we're complaining about is the overemphasis people place on that in place of personality, and how viewers will kind of fool themselves into thinking it's an interesting video if the shots look nice. When really, an equal video in 240p, they'd say, yeah.
Yes.
And that sort of stuff. We're not trying to say down with cameras or something.
Yeah, no.
Alright, the other thing Spotty said was about JR Cuba's videos. She says, about JR Cuba's videos, I think it's almost acceptable to do the generic sort of videos that he does. He's probably up there with the 2 most watched cubing YouTubers. I would say up there with the most trusted reviewers on YouTube. So what he says doesn't have to be all that creative for people to still watch.
Yeah, I agree. I know what you mean. And also there's he kind of was creative in doing that because he was the original person to come up with that sort of style of reviewing and whatnot. So it kind of is still creative because it's original. Because he was the first person to do it.
There is a fair point there. And for sure, there are going to be some people who just want to watch a review for like a minute and a half, get the information they need, and leave. But I still don't think that's completely an excuse for like just making the same video over and over and over. And to be honest, JR Cuba has come out before and said like, I'm just not enjoying making reviews or something like that because it's like just they're all the same basically, at least 3x3s or whatnot. And it's a fair point, but I don't think it should be taken too into consideration, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, and the other thing with JR is like he's not all. We like to bash on him, but that's mainly just because he's popular and stuff. He does actually have some. He cracks some jokes.
Yeah, you'll watch. He'll be on like the next podcast as a guest.
Yeah. Yeah, but you guys know MKBHD, who is clearly a very big influence of JR's, and like they'll both do a similar sort of thing where they'll crack a joke or something. It's not all like, "Hey guys, welcome to my review," sort of stuff. But you know, they'll just be like, I don't know, just make a joke, which is better than most.
Yeah,
and I mean that's also why he's up there with the 2 most watched cubing YouTubers.
I had a friend who was like around in my place, and he just like picked up one of my. He's a cuber too, and he picked up one of my cubes, and he started just like full on reviewing this cube in like the most Aussiest bogan way, and like with tons of swearing and stuff. And I was like, if you actually did that for a YouTube channel, people would watch.
That would be interesting.
You could call it something like Aussie Man Reviews or something like that.
Yeah, I just thought it was hilarious. I'm like, if you actually make a YouTube channel and do that, people are gonna watch and you're gonna retain viewers, trust me.
Just say you lubricated it with sausage grease.
Yeah, that'd be good. I'd watch that.
The only thing that can't happen is for like someone else to copy it. Like that'll just nah.
Well, this is like our 5th episode in a row talking about generic cubing videos, so we're all like going over well-sodden ground, if you will. But yeah, just in conclusion to this whole episodic series about generic cubing videos, have a gimmick.
It works.
It works. Okay, moving on to our first topic. Reese, would you like to introduce this one?
This is something I am very obviously quite acquainted with. So let's talk about the SD card. In Felix's new world record, there's like a kid in the background who's like, "My SD card ran out," and he says it like five or 6 times and turned into a whirlwind of. I hesitate to say bullying, but like people took it to extremes, including me at first. I think I was like one of the first people to comment on that video.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I said like, I think his SD card ran out or something like that. And it got, I think, 900 likes or very close to 1,000 likes, which on a YouTube video is like insane. I was like, okay, there might be something up here. And then I made a video which is related to the B-movie vines, not vines, memes, things. You guys know B-movie?
Everyone knows.
People edit B-movie because it's very silly. They do their own little edits, and one of them, they speed it up every time somebody says B in the movie. What I did was I took the world record video and sped it up every time it says my SD card ran out, and that rocketed off. I'm like, yeah, we're definitely onto something here. And then
nice
Alex Mars, who's a cuber in America, made the kid a GoFundMe page to get him a new SD card. There is, it's there, and currently hasn't gotten any donations, which is very sad. But
that is
we
sad.
try our hardest.
Sort of on the topic of memes, thing I might quickly throw this one in. I saw a video in my recommendations. The entire B-movie script, but in binary, and it's just this text-to-speech guy spitting out 1s and 0s so super fast for 24 hours.
Wow.
The other memes are the ones where people are posting your blank, my blank. Like, one that I liked was your air, and it shows a picture of the chemical makeup of air in like a diagram. And then my air, which is a picture of a Gans air. And I must say, I was always pretty skeptical of cubing memes, because they were always pretty bad. Like the rice pudding one is a classic example of a bad meme that was overused.
I love rice pudding. Will we ever get the recipe?
You are the problem. But these sort of memes are okay, and we're saying this when they're kind of in the dank stage, if you will.
Yeah.
And probably by the time this episode is posted, they've been overdone and overused and bad.
Yes. That's how memes work, right? As soon as anybody talks about them, they're already old.
Yes, there'll be a BuzzFeed article about it. It'll be on Facebook.
The 10 memes you missed this summer.
The new hot meme of 2017 is... But yeah, do you like these memes?
I can't say I'm against them. I know some of them are taken to pretty silly extents, and not all of them are really great, but there are definitely some funny ones out there. Usually generated by the older people in the community.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Like, there is an age disparity between quality of memes created and years living on Earth.
Sorry, can we just graph that quickly?
Yes, straight upward spike.
How old are you? About 70% quality of memes.
So we should move on to our next topic.
I'm up to that.
Oh, this is a good one.
Mr. I don't speak ever, Bryce, would you like to introduce this topic?
Okay, if you can actually introduce this topic in full, I'll be very impressed.
Ooh, the pressure's on. Get ready, kids. Okay. So Rubiks Speed Cubing Association.
You're doing well.
They're basically trying to make better speed cubes, so then that I guess they're trying to dominate the market and like take over the other Chinese companies and stuff. Yeah. And anyway, there's a thing here on Google Plus by Erno Rubik, who says, "It is my ambition to create the best speed cubes available to enthusiasts of all ages and backgrounds. During my recent trip to China, I met the gifted young designer Gan, creator of the world champion speed cube, and invited him to take part in this effort. Of course, I keep looking for other puzzle talents and plans to develop collaborative design platforms at RSA." Yeah, so this is interesting. Basically, it looks like Rubiks is trying to take a step forward in the quality of speed cubes, which I guess they took their time.
I think we have actually talked about this before in a very early episode about Rubiks' attempts to step up their quality. I think it's really nice to finally see something happening. Even though I think Gans is a very expensive company, we all know that, because all of their cubes are very expensive. Brad will happily go on about that for a very long time.
Yep.
So
it's the Extra Master Edition.
I don't think the quality of the cubes will be like full on magnificent, but
yeah. Do you expect these cubes to be good, Reese? That's the burning question.
I expect them to be decent. I expect them to be up with the quality of most budget cubes these days.
Yeah, like if he's collaborating with Gans, I guess, like, you know, he might teach him a thing or two. The Rubik Speed Cube, I don't know, it was better than the original Rubik's Cube. They realized that it's not that great, and they're trying to actually make something decent.
Okay, I'm just gonna put it forwards as well that Rubik's brands actually aren't that bad as well. Like, a lot of people absolutely trash Rubik's, but I have an original Rubik's Cube, right? This is one with the original design, no ball core, right? I have a 13-second average on that.
But what's your regular average?
My regular average is around about 10, so only 3 seconds slower.
30%.
Yes. If a cuber averages a minute with a Rubik's brand, does that mean that they're going to average 33 seconds? Sorry. Does that mean they're going to average 20 seconds with a speed cube?
No, you've done your maths wrong there.
Sorry, 40. I think it's 40.
There we go. And possibly, they'd certainly be around 50.
Yeah, they might. But really, like...
Sorry, am I the Rubik's trasher person that you're talking about?
Yes, you are.
Sorry.
But that's okay. We'll allow that.
Here's my thing, because like, if Gans has got a really good design... Gan has got a good design for a speed cube, then would it be in his interest to do that just as a regular Gans Cube, or would it be that he should do it with Erno Rubik? And if he's got a really good design, why doesn't he just do it on his own?
Yeah, that's where I think definitely the quality will suffer for them.
Rubiks is probably offering him a lot of money, to be honest, that they're a massive company.
Yeah, but I don't think they'll join up in any way, shape, or form. I think they will still remain separate companies, and I think Gans will definitely still take the upper hand over Rubiks, but it's definitely something to look out for, and I look forward to seeing the first models.
The thing is, though, like, I still think the Rubik's Speed Cubes are going to be really expensive. Like,
yeah,
they could be good, but then you're never going to get that cheap price from the ones manufactured in China.
Yeah, would you call the Chinese ones cheap? Let's just talk about Gans Cube for a while.
Inexpensive.
Bryce, before you said, like, they're probably going to be paying him a lot of money because Rubiks is a really big company, I'm starting to get suspicious of how, like, big Rubiks actually is. Because as time goes on, like, their finance is going to suffer. Because fewer people are buying their cubes and more people are buying the speed cubes. And if they were really, like, that financially independent, then I don't think we'd be seeing a move like this from Rubiks.
Yeah, true.
Fair point. But then again, I think it's come down to the point with them where they're realizing they're doing something wrong with their designs, and I think they've realized that they need somebody else to kind of step in and give them a hand.
I don't think they need another person, to be honest. Like, honestly, just it's so obvious, like, what they're doing. Speed cubing companies, like, you know, the Florian cut thing and the...
Bryce, you're really not up to date with this whole cubing thing, are you?
The Florian cut one, you know. Yeah.
I think part of Rubiks' problem is that they're always trying to do something new and creative, like with the ball stuff and with the tiles.
Yeah.
When, like, they'd be better off just making a good old speed cube and people would buy it because it's Rubiks.
Yeah, but one thing that we have to take into account as well is Rubiks is one of those people who gets in a lot of fights with other Chinese cube companies for knockoffs. Like, if you remember back in Diane, the Diane era, they were suing them for a lot of money for knocking off designs and sticker schemes, if I remember. So I think they were trying to kind of move away from the norm and make something quite creative in the face of, you know, more lawsuits. If they started actually making good cubes and they were slightly similar to other cubes, then they might be called hypocrites for, you know, suing people earlier in the game, if you get what I mean.
I don't think they care about being called hypocrites, because if they cared that much about their brand recognition, then they wouldn't have sued the other people.
Well, fair enough.
But, like, yeah, copyright in the Rubik's Cube world is like a massive crap show.
Yeah. Well, at least it was like 6 years ago.
Yeah, but you think about V-Cube and stuff and how they were suing everyone for violating their patents.
Yes, those were the days. And then me, myself, and Pi, who I think just between us is a YouTuber that we don't even care if we trash on him because he just gets on all of us, all of our nerves. I love you, Billy. Please don't murder me.
The other thing about this speed cube thing, they say they're going to create the best speed cubes available, which, like,
Ooh,
and there's a lot of marketing stuff like that. And the big thing is they've got Felix, sort of, like, Felix sent out a tweet saying, I'm very excited about the new, Rubik's Cube manufacturing thing. And then they have a picture of him in action, as they say, accompanied with this statement on Google+. So Felix is clearly a very big marketing part of this.
Yeah.
There's the whole, like, argument from authority thing where if you see Felix using it, people buy it.
Yeah, definitely. But we really do have to wait until he gets one on his own hands, because if he actually switches to that cube, then obviously there's going to be something that changes a lot of people's minds about how we see and perceive cubes these days. But if he doesn't switch, it's really not going to bother me that much.
That's the thing about being sponsored by the cube companies, is you can put your face next to them and say how great it is, but, like, it doesn't actually show unless you actually use it. It's easy to smile and say, look at this cool Rubik's Cube, but, if you actually switch to it, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just having flashbacks of that Antoine Curtin video. Have you seen the video? It was taken down where he's like, I shop with the cubicle.us or something like that. And it's just like 1 minute of him just going like, buy at the cubicle.us, sell at the cubicle.us, get your speed cubes at the cubicle.us. And so happy about that.
Yeah. Yeah, and they always say that in cubing videos as well. I got this cube from lighttake.co. What a great cubing company. They sure do stock the best cubes.
I've got to say, like, it really does bug me when people shove stuff down your throat when it comes to sponsorship. Even though we all know Brad and I are pretty patriotic fans of Jack's films, there was a video recently that he made called Jack to the Future, which just felt really, really off because it was sponsored by Lenovo. It was a lot less content, a lot more, Lenovo makes great phones.
Let me find my next joke on this fantastic Lenovo telephonic device.
Yeah.
I don't think the cubing community hasn't gotten to that extent, and even sometimes people will say, I got this cube from the cubicle.us and they're not sponsored at all, and it's just because they see GRQB doing it, back to the generic videos thing. People just say that, that's where I got it from. I just thought you'd like to know.
Well, I do that as well. Obviously, I use speedcube.com.au quite a fair bit, and I just genuinely like promoting them because they're a company that I think could go really far. They're one of the only retailing actual people who have a shop on Speedcubing in the world, as in a physical, real shop.
Huh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, in Melbourne. You guys are all up in New South Wales. Yeah, get screwed. It's really cool having a physical shop, and I'm just friends with a lot of people and the owners there, and I think they're doing something really great, and I enjoy promoting them because I want to see them go far, genuinely. But
this sounds very much like you're being paid.
I'm really not. I like speedcube.com.au. But yeah, there are people who will just all the time go, I got this cube from the cubicle.us. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
do you want me to tell you all the steps involved into ordering this cube, or do you want me to just leave it at that? Actually, I just want to go off on a tangent here. Like, people who say things on YouTube videos only because bigger YouTube personalities say it, people will catch on. It's like phrases like, I bought this cube from the cubicle.us.
Hey guys, what's up?
And put it at the start of the video, not because I want to, but because other people are essentially doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now we're doing a full 360 and going back to the generic videos thing.
Yeah. Oh. And obviously it was like Christmas time recently, so I had a lot of like Christmas haul videos popping up in my recommended for whatever reason. And, like, literally, they all start with, now, I'm not trying to brag or anything. I'm like, what, really? I've heard, not even joking, such a Christmas haul right now, and they all start with the same thing. And that just really annoys me.
Back to, like, the cubing store things. There's a lot of patriotism involved in cubing stores, because obviously, there's a lot of competition there. And they basically all do the same thing, unlike other areas where there might be competition, like Samsung versus Apple or something. They both make phones, but they're both different phones. Unlike the cubing retailers, which are just like, no, we all sell the same cubes.
Yeah, fair point.
With that sort of stuff, like the Cubicle obviously has started doing their premium cubes and stuff. And getting that sort of sponsor thing, like putting Gans's logo on the back of Felix's shirt, that's a big step up.
What you were saying before, how the stores, they just sell every type of cube. I don't think like the whole like hobby of cubing isn't like big enough for individual companies to be having their own stores.
Yeah,
because
yeah, there's a lot of cubing stores. There's like even just in Australia, there's like 4 or 5 cubing stores that very few people have heard of.
Then again, that only started about two years ago or so. Before that, Australia was like a barren desert compared to like US. When it comes to cubing stores, Australia was the equivalent of Bryce Hayes' channel. It was just deserted.
Oh, wow. That is
Yeah, there are plenty to choose from in Australia now. And certainly a lot in the US.
Too many. I worry about it, like, you'll stumble upon some cubing store that you've never heard of before, and it's really obscure, but it sells a whole load of puzzles, and you're like, how can anybody be making money off this?
Yeah.
It's like, you need to stock all the cubes, and no one's going to buy it, and you feel bad.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
And some of them do it for, like, ridiculously cheap as well. Like, some of the Chinese stores sell cubes very, very cheap. And a lot of people haven't even heard of them. So I'm a little bit confused as well, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, I'd never heard of cubing stores until now. You said that like 2 or 3 years ago they started, being around. Where have I been?
And the market as well, like, how many Australian cubers are there? 300 maybe?
300? Surely more.
Yeah, true.
Like 200 turned up to nationals last year alone.
Well, yeah, but that's got to be a fair percentage of them.
Yeah, I'd say at least
300 to 500.
I'd say at least 1,000. Come on, get with the program.
How many people are registered WCA? Check that, Reese.
Let me check. I'm on it.
3 hours later.
So this won't be completely realistic, but it will give you an idea.
3 days later.
How you guys going?
One eternity later.
1,081.
Damn, Brad.
Okay, I've got the number because Reese is too slow. That's a lot more than I expected, actually. 1,081 Australians have a single for Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Huh.
Oh no, I've got 1,338, which is so crushingly close to 1,337.
But, yeah, that's a lot more than I expected, but still, like, a lot of them won't be cubing anymore.
Yeah.
Like, a fair portion of them are just from, like, 2010 to 2007 competitions.
And not to mention, that's, like, the whole of Australia. Like, most of them will probably be in New South Wales or Melbourne. I'm just assuming. But, like,
Yeah, so the market isn't that big for, it's a highly saturated market. And I'm just looking on ozcubes.com.au. Have you guys heard of this site?
Yeah, it's run by Ethan Pride. He's a genuine bloke.
Have you heard of it, Bryce?
Nope.
Bryce hasn't heard of anything. What are you thinking?
I've heard of Ethan Pride. I recognize that name. I think I saw it while scrolling past the competitors in the competition.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bryce. I really do bully you too much.
That's alright.
But like on ozcubes.com.au's website, I'm hoping Ethan Pride doesn't listen to this. but they're, they don't have the most cubes. They don't have the Vault cubes and stuff. They don't have a lot of the modern cubes. And so you start to wonder, how financially viable is this website actually?
Yeah.
And that sort of stuff.
That's a fair point. However, something to take into account is a lot of cubing stores as well use cookies and things like that. So ads will start popping up in your browser if you have cubing related websites visited, and a lot of attention gets drawn from that, I think. But yeah, you do have to wonder like how to make a steady income. If Ethan's running it, by the way, then I don't suspect that he'll be making like full-time profit. Like he doesn't own a house or anything. He doesn't own a car and 3 children and whatnot. He's like a teenager like all of us.
But still, he needs to pay for the cubes and buy the cubes.
Yeah, for sure. But he probably makes it in a business ways that he's probably still profiting more than he is. I mean, you always got to profit, otherwise you're in debt. And I severely doubt that he's in debt, so yeah.
You've got to profit, otherwise you'll be in debt. You don't say.
But there is, like, sort of a collective dream amongst cubers to, like, start a cubing company. Which is, like, you'll hear a lot of people say, I want to start selling cubes out of my home and just make a little bit of money so I can pay for my camera that I'll use to make cubing videos and stuff like that. And you can tell everyone who goes to a cubing competition kind of wants to start up their own little store and sell cubes, right?
Yeah.
Huh,
I think that's what leads to this oversaturation of cubing stuff. because there's so many markets, and I used to kind of think that that'd be a cool thing to do, but now I'm just like, no, it really wouldn't. What about you, Reese? Reese, do you want to start a store?
I'd love to start a store. Do you want to start it with me?
Yes. The
Bryce,
Cubing Show cubes.
Bryce, you can sell memes.
I don't know. I probably wouldn't have a cubing store. Just too lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people, I don't think, take into consideration the fact that, like, owning one actually takes work. It's not something where a lot of people probably have in mind. It's like, oh, they'll send me cubes and I'll get out to try all the cubes, and then I'll just be drowning in a pile of cubes. No. Remember, you actually have to ship stuff. You actually have to do stuff. It's not easy.
You need to buy cubes and then sell them. And you can't just buy them from the cubicle and then sell them at $5 up price, because who's going to buy that?
Fair point.
Including the shipping and everything.
What store do you use, Reese?
I already told you, speakcube.com.
Oh, yeah.
Au.
Exclusively? Nothing else?
I'll use the cubicle.us occasionally. And very occasionally I'll use Ozcubes. Usually at competitions and whatnot.
Yeah.
But no, mainly just speakcube.com.au. Because they generally have a very good, stable company set up. And they're doing really well, I think.
Bryce, I know you don't buy cubes, but when you used to.
Oh, mate, I gotta go back for this one. No, I bought from the cubicle a couple times, but I'd say about
Bryce, do you buy your cubes from vcubes.com?
What, vcubes.com?
It was a joke about how old and uninterested speakcubing is.
Yeah, no, about 70% of the cubes I've bought are from CubeZZ or cubes.com, because they're just the cheapest every time.
I remember that store.
The only thing is the shipping. Like, dude, one time it came in 5 days. One time it came in over a month. At least it's free. Shipping.
Now you're bringing back memories from me. Like, I ordered a Moose Cube, which took a month to be delivered from Cubes Easy. Remember HK Now store? I use that store. I used to.
Man, I haven't heard that word so...
Did you actually?
Yeah.
You are a stand-up gentleman.
Am I?
Yes. For using the one that Crazy Van Cubel would non-stop advertise.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he had a fair few videos just purely dedicated to HK Now store and why he liked it.
Yeah, that's probably why I used it, actually.
Yeah.
And they've got a pretty dodgy looking website. Like, no one would reasonably give money to this sort of website, that looks like it was made in 95.
Yeah. I went on there a couple of times. I was like, oh, I don't see myself buying from here.
Yeah, but they're pretty good. I think they've got free shipping. I don't know. I haven't bought a cube in... I was thinking about that. I want to buy a Volk 3.
Have you tried one?
Yeah.
No.
You haven't tried one?
No. I might have at a competition or something. Are they good?
Oh my god. They are good.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even a fan of, feel similar to it. Like the Clacky, Meiying, /Liying, all of them. Guan Yue Xiao hated that cube. This cube, same feel, and I love it. It's so good.
Is that your main?
No, I don't own one, but I want to.
Oh. Would it be your main?
Yes. Any more questions?
What's your social security number?